And next up, we have the beautiful Natasha Lyon. Lyon.
One job, Vicky.
So next up, welcome back. Next up, we have Natasha Lyon. See, now I left out beautiful. Can we just stop and rewind? Thank you. Go. Next up, we have, take 3, Natasha Lyon. And she is an entrepreneur, business consultant, trauma release practitioner, radio presenter, and a public speaker. She's passionate about life and people and using her life experience. And she uses it through radio, through business, and on social platforms. She's also and foremost a wife and a loving mother to her gorgeous daughter. Her philosophy is that if you're passionate about anything in your life, follow your gut feeling, do what you need to do to take it on and fulfill that passion. Natasha Lyon and her story, I Am More, Surviving Prejudice. Thank you for your hands together.
Assumptions. Are they not the root of all evil? Well, at least some people might just use different terminology, but we're going to stick to that and play it safe. But isn't this so easy for us to just say? So in this day and age, we are still making assumptions, drawing opinions, behaving ignorantly, and making judgments without having a sense of knowing or having the true facts. Have we not realized in this day and age that this attitude is actually very destructive and very hurtful? Do we call this judgment or do we call this prejudice? My name's Natasha Lyon, and I am a survivor of prejudice. Do you know if you are prejudiced? Do you know if you've experienced being prejudiced? Or do you know how much distraction prejudice can cause? Well, I'm going to share my story. I was a prejudiced woman working in a very male-dominated industry. I worked in the security industry. And I was perceived as this cute, pretty, blonde ditzy, and I used my charisma to bring in all my sales. I had to work extra hard and extra smart to change this perception. And I did. I brought on one of the biggest security contracts with millions for the Bidvest Group, which is actually still active today, to this day. Then I brought on another, and I brought on another, and another contract. And all of a sudden, the perception of me started to morph. And I started to become a respected woman in the security industry. I took it one step further and I broke the mold. And I opened up my own security company with partners, ran it successfully for 8 years, and was Businesswoman 2017. I was a survivor of prejudice. Interesting how in society we like to create pigeonholes for everybody. If something is different or out of the ordinary, we like to look at it and go, okay, there's something wrong here. It doesn't fit, not at all. I find myself being a peg in a round hole, square hole, sorry. It was the 22nd of February, 2012, a Wednesday evening, I'll never forget. It was a beautiful summer's evening. My husband, myself, and my daughter had just had a beautiful day around our family pool, having a braai and just having fun and being playful. My daughter was 6 years old at the time, and life was just fabulous. Anyway, we were getting our evening chores done, and Dakota was next to me on a little stool with these cute little pigtails, washing the dishes, making more mess than anything else. But we were just loving our time together as mother and daughter. Then my husband, Glenn, came bouncing into the kitchen, fully kitted in his Liverpool outfit. Yeah, right. Any Liverpool fans, yeah? You know, you never walk alone and all that hype. He was extremely excited because he loved football. He was a die-hard Liverpool fan, and he used to play for Austria in his young day. He was 47 at the time. He had signed up for the over 45s team and was like all ready to go. We giggled and laughed at him, and we wished him well and said, take it easy. You know, you are 47, you're not 20 anymore, you know, so have fun, but take it easy. He laughed at us and he kissed and hugged us lovingly, as he always does. And he left and said, girls, have an awesome evening. I won't be back. I won't be late tonight. I'll see you later. Dakota and I went ahead with our evening, and she settled in to watch her usual kiddie movies. And I decided to take this time of solitude and go have a lovely bubble bath. I was 10 minutes into my bubble bath with my own thoughts and just releasing all the stress when my daughter came running into the bathroom, holding my phone. Mommy, somebody's trying to call you. I took the phone and I answered the call. My summer tan drained from my face, leaving me quite white and pasty, and I started to sweat. The tension constricted my whole body from hearing the voice on the other end saying, Glenn has just had a heart attack. You need to get to ER immediately at Vincent Pilati. Time froze. My daughter and I were in the car. She was safely strapped in, and I had my hazard lights on, and I will never forget it because that ticking in my head, I can still hear so clearly. We got to the hospital. We were ushered into a room by the nurses. They were you could see as soon as I said, it's Natasha Lyon, my husband is in theatre, in emergency, they knew exactly who he was. We were ushered into a room, and Dakota and I sat there holding each other and comforting each other, you know, in total confusion, not knowing what to expect. The doctor then walked in the door, and I could see from his body language and from his face that we had lost Glenn. He had passed on. Our lives would never be the same again, and we were labeled and stigmatized for this change in our lives. All right. Dakota would get bullied at school because she doesn't have a dad. Her mom can't bring her up by herself. She's a single parent. It got so bad that I got criticized for my parenting style because we were just, you know, a 2-unit family. The schools even called me in and said, we need to just make you aware of the fact that Dakota is at a disadvantage, and she could grow up to be a troubled child and act out because she has a one-parent home and she's at a disadvantage because her father is not alive anymore. Right, so Dakota and I, we rose above this. We became a beautiful family unit of our own. And with the love that we have and the understanding of what was going on, we just knew we've got this. Nobody else understands, but we do, and we've got each other. My daughter and I took lemons and we made lemonade. And I must say that I'm a very proud mother. She has grown beautifully into this mature woman. She knows exactly what she wants. She's ambitious, and she has a different understanding to most girls her age. She has a patience, a resilience, and an understanding. There is nothing that I can teach her. Absolutely nothing. We survived prejudice. What we didn't know was this was going to prepare us for the next chapter in our lives. Judgment. Oof. How easily we judge. Making assumptions, saying things, and not realizing how dangerous those words are and how destructive they can be. How, without giving it a second thought, that we actually weaponize our words and thoughts to destroy somebody else's feelings or confidence or self-esteem. Well, I'm going to tell you a beautiful story. Well, at least it's beautiful to me. I met my new husband through a request to do some consulting work for a corporate company. And we immediately became fast best friends. It was incredible. We just got along so well. There's nothing that we couldn't talk about. We could sit together in absolute silence and just enjoy our evening together or our time. It was wonderful. And we fast learned that this was actually leading to something a little bit more than friendship. And we quickly fell in love. It was such a beautiful love and is such a beautiful love that we wanted to scream it from the mountaintops and share it with everybody. Like, guys, this is real love. You can all have it. It's so wonderful. Unfortunately, the world did not receive our relationship with as much enthusiasm as what we did. You see, my husband and I have an interracial and intercultural relationship. And there were friends and family that just felt that we were not a good match and it was not a good idea for us to be involved. We had snide remarks. We had family and friends speak to us and say, "Are you sure about this? This is not a good idea." It became so bad that on our wedding day, he got calls and I got calls trying to convince us not to go ahead with this wedding. Crazy, right? But our love was strong. Our love is strong. And because of the essence and the authenticity that we had between us, we knew that there was absolutely nothing that could get in the way of our relationship. But what was even more beautiful, that despite having people, friends and family, that actually were ashamed and embarrassed of us and decided to cut us out of our lives, we had an incredible tribe that stood by us, believed in us, and just thought that we were amazing. They were amazed by the love that we had, and they said, "Share it. You need to share this with the whole world." And they were there that embraced our wedding day. They treasured the time with us and witnessed our fairy tale of a happy ending becoming a reality. I survived prejudice once again. So I've told you the story about how I've become basically a businesswoman that was prejudiced. I became a great success. Despite the prejudice that I had in the industry, I changed the perception by being authentic. I shared my story about how I was prejudiced and my daughter was prejudiced because I became a single widowed mother and she became a fatherless daughter. I've shared the story with a beautiful love and my new life that I have with my husband and how we overcame that prejudice and inspired others. So if I can influence any of you, even if it's just one of you, to surrender your prejudice, to have non-judgment, and try to look at people differently, circumstances differently, put yourself in those situations or those people's shoes, and just look at them differently and accept them the way they are and embrace them. And endeavor to have meaningful relationships and friendships of true essence and understanding. Then my talk has fulfilled my purpose of being here tonight. And it bestows confidence in me that the torch that I shine to actually light up this world that we're in and to create a better world for all of us, then it burns brightly. Thank you. I'm Natasha Lyon, and I am a survivor of prejudice.